Hello, my name is Dr. Daniel Bates, and I work with men who are trying to build better relationships. And today I want to talk to you about the problem with problem solving, specifically among men. So I want you to ask yourself, do you ever find yourself jumping into problem solving mode when your partner shares an issue with you? And the reason why guys get stuck in that specific scenario is they go into fix-it mode. So men often feel like they're trying to be helpful by offering solutions, but typically that's not what their female partner is needing or wanting in that moment. Men are genuinely trying to show care and support, but it's falling flat. So an example would be is, a female partner, a wife comes home from a tough day at work, and the husband jumps in immediately with solutions like, here's how to have a better day, here's how to avoid those issues at work. But the partner just doesn't want to hear it. All they want is to be heard in that moment. And so maybe the couple blows up, they have a big fight, and both are feeling disgruntled with each other, and that happens on a regular, consistent basis. So it can be really risky to skip over emotional validation, which can again lead to frustration and miscommunications. So I want to give you a new direction and a new approach. And the new approach really centers on building an emotional connection, obviously in your relationship, but in conversations too. That's your main goal, not to give the best solution, but to connect with your partner. Let them know they're heard and valued and understood by you. So one difference would be between solving a problem and understanding a feeling. So in that instance, don't listen to identify the problem and then give the solution. Listen to identify the experience of the problem. That's a really key, important part. That's kind of the heart of this. Listen to the experience of the problem and also listen to the problem. I don't want to totally negate you jumping to solutions and getting to that. That's important as well. But you got to make sure your partner's ready to listen to your solutions. So first and foremost, I would suggest taking a pause and taking a deep breath before you respond. And again, check in with yourself. Do I feel like I'm getting them? Do I feel like I'm understanding? Am I really putting myself in their shoes and seeing through their eyes? Or am I just so focused on the discomfort of them having this issue and me thinking I've got the perfect solution? So try to soothe your nervous system, try to settle it, try to get to that place of emotional stability where you're really tracking and staying present with them. Then I want you to use active listening skills. So pay attention to the words, but not only the words and not only the content, but the tone of voice and the body language. There's some experts out there who say we communicate 80% with our body language and maybe 20% with our words. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. So don't interrupt, don't formulate a solution. Do a really good job of being mindful and observant. You're taking in all the points of data, all the information from what you're getting from their mannerisms, their gestures, the way they're holding their body, what they're focusing on. Did they raise their tone of voice? Are they getting a little more rapid in their speech? Pay attention to all that to get a good picture and a good sense of what's going on with your partner. Then I want you to validate their feelings first and foremost, okay? So recognize the emotions and use phrases like, that must have been hard, or I can understand why that would upset you. This shows that you're really focusing on how they're feeling, and again, not skipping over those feelings so you can just get to the solution. Consider asking an open-ended question. It's totally, perfectly okay for you to not understand, and for you to even say that in a respectful way of like, I'm really sorry you had such a rough day, but I don't understand why. Can you explain more? Or can you tell me how it made you feel when your boss did this at work? What can I do to support you? That's a great question to ask in any conversation. Maybe your partner really is looking for solutions and they don't want you to validate their emotions and their feelings and empathy, and they want you to just jump right to solutions. Right on, rock on. Then you can just jump right to that. but maybe they do want solutions, but they really want to be heard first. Okay, so let me do a good job of listening and empathizing. Or maybe they just want to get it off their chest and they just want to vent and they don't want any solutions. Whoa, sorry. That is also really important. So know what they need before you jump in with your assumption of what they need. Show empathy, not sympathy. It's okay for you to have your own feelings, but there's two types of empathy I want to share with you: cognitive empathy and affective empathy. Cognitive empathy is where you understand their perspective, how they make sense of what they're feeling, how they make sense of their experience. So when you can speak to both, that's what's really important. It's okay for you to have your own emotions about what they're feeling, but what you're going to focus on is verbalizing your understanding of their perspective and your understanding of what they're feeling and why they're feeling that way, if that makes sense. So you can use phrases like, I can see where you're coming from, versus I'm sorry you feel that way. That really doesn't do any good, right? It's more important to basically express what they're feeling and why they felt that way from their perspective. That's where the money is. Recognize the difference between sharing and solving. So understand that not every question or conversation requires a solution. I kind of mentioned this earlier. It's okay for her to just have a sounding board and a safe person, you being a trusted safe harbor that she can come into and just find a supportive presence where you don't have to jump in and there's no agenda, but you're kind of giving her the floor to express herself and be understood is huge for your relationships. Only offer solutions when asked. So you might do such a good job of listening, she will approach you and invite you to share. What's your perspective? What do you think? What do you think I should do? Do you have any ideas on how I can handle this situation? Again, gold, perfect. You hit the money. But that's her seeking you out and seeking that specific kind of feedback. If you really do have a great solution and great idea, again, like I said, you can ask, hey, are you open to feedback? No, I really just want to talk. Okay, let me switch gears and go back to listening. Or, yeah, I think I am ready to hear what you have to say. Good. Just check in, right? Test the waters first. And then stay present. Again, guys get uncomfortable when they hear their partners expressing discomfort and an issue and a challenge and a problem. We've got to manage that own discomfort and stay present and not get distracted because I really want to say my solution, but I know they're not ready for it. And so now I'm getting kind of checked out in the conversation. Stay present, stay focused. All right, well,